Hello, Internet, and welcome to the free-to-play cast brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I'm your host, Magicman, and it's a bit of a slow week here, host-wise. I've only got one with me. We're going to two-man this show, but I have every confidence in the world in him because my partner today is none other than your favorite, Brim. How are you, sir?
What's up?
It's good to have you back. You're going to be on for, what, 2 weeks now, huh?
Oh, you know how I do it.
Yeah, you come back in chunks.
Double dosing Brim.
Next week you'll be on with hopefully a special guest host as long as schedule permits. So just this week, you and we got a lot to talk about. Gamescom was this week, huh?
Yes.
Oof, lots to talk about. So this is kind of going to be our Gamescom recap show. And since the last week's show was a little late in getting up because of Gamescom, we're going to roll with the same questions of the week that we had on last week's show to give everybody the opportunity to jump in. So we're going to be taking your questions about, your answers about if the subscription model is dead, and we'll give you the same question of the week we gave out last week, just so everybody can jump in and we can all kind of catch up from Gamescom this week, which just ended today. Been a crazy week. We've got a ton of stuff over at the website for you to take a look at if you haven't been there in a day or two. So what do you say, Brim? Let's get started with the news?
Let's do it.
All right, so the way I wanted to do this, Brim, and I hope it's okay with you, you and I have looked over the Gamescom stuff. Lots of trailers, lots of interviews, lots of information for not only the free-to-play, but the normal sub-based or buy the box type game. I mean, Gamescom just covers everything. We're going to stick with the free-to-play, and I figured what we'll do, if it's okay with you, is let's just touch on some of our favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's too much to really go through every single game, and we've got that stuff on the site. Let's just touch on a couple of our favorites. Do you want to start, or should I?
You know what? I like hearing your voice. Let's have you go first.
Oh, you know, if you were getting a paycheck for this, you'd get a raise right there. It's really sweet of you.
That's all I'm here for.
All right, so I'm going to start with what was I think was my favorite of the show, and it's one we've talked about a few times, but we haven't had a ton of information. It's just been speculation, and that is Neverwinter by Cryptic, published or distributed by Perfect World. So we'll get to that in a second, because I know there's going to be some people that feel the same way I do, and I think the same way you do about Perfect World. But let's talk about Neverwinter, because there was a new trailer that went out during Gamescom. Lots of things are getting nailed down on the game. They were talking about, how much development is already done. Launch is scheduled for early 2013, beta a few months before. Does that mean we're going to see a beta, do you think, by the end of the year?
Ooh. Well, if you're asking for Brim's prediction, yeah, you might see it by December.
I think so, too. I think we're going to see it late November, early December. So beta a few months before the release. You can actually buy your way still into the closed beta by pre-ordering Torchlight 2 directly from Perfect World, that's one of the topics we talked about, whether we like that cross-marketing of a buy-to-play game versus a free-to-play game. However, I will tell you, you cannot do it through Steam, guys. You have to do it directly through Perfect World to do get the beta access. So we checked out the trailers, Brim, the past ones and the ones from Gamescom. It's got that action combat, the whole Terra or Raiders type combat where it's moving around, plays a great deal in what hits and what misses. But was I the only one that thought that Cryptic's done a really nice job as far as speeding the combat up? That's one of the things I haven't liked about Raiders. Even back in Alpha, when I did the first look, I mentioned that, yes, this type of combat's supposed to be slower, but it just seemed a little too slow. Neverwinter seems to be nailing down a little more speed. Was I nuts, or did you see that in the trailer too?
I'm going to have to agree with you. Not to go too far off subject here, but Raiders, yeah, it was a little slow, but like you said, it kind of has to be. With Neverwinter, I was watching these trailers. I am very excited about this game. Just watching the combat and how fast it moved, I'm excited about it.
And it doesn't have that, like, World of Warcraft or Alad's fast tab target, bang, 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 1111, 7744, boom. That's your whole mage rotation, by the way, if you guys aren't sure. 1112, 1112. But it does feel a little closer to that in speed, at least from the trailers, and I wish we could have gotten some hands-on time with it. I'm still trying to get into this game. I really want to check it out, but I'm very pleased to see that it's moving in a faster direction. Raiders, love the game. I think the combat needs dialed up just a little bit. I understand why it's slow, but even for that slowness, it seemed a little too slow. The other aspect of Neverwinter that has me hugely excited is the Foundry. I think this is going to be the deciding factor on whether Neverwinter is successful or not, is how well the Foundry works. Now, for those of you that don't know or have never played any of the previous Neverwinter titles, the Foundry is user-created content where you can create zones and NPCs and quests, and on the site they're talking about the Foundry being able to, you build this whole adventure, and then other people can come and play your adventure too. So I guess that, you know, things from the Foundry aren't going to be in part of the persistent world, I would assume, right?
Right.
You know, it's got to be its own little standalone thing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting integration, don't you think? Like, if I take my character out of the Neverwinter world and go to play Brim's Adventure, am I still gaining experience and loot and things?
I would hope so.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
To see how they link that. Now, I think the Foundry is, like I said, the #1 thing that's going to make this succeed or fail. My concern, even with the sneak peeks that we got at Gamescom, my concern is still Perfect World being the publisher for this. I've got some questions about some of their cash shops, not all of them. I will give them that. There are a few games that they've done the cash shop what I think is pretty fair, and then there's some other games that they've really screwed it up. Well, how do you feel?
I'm going to have to lean towards screwed up, but I think that I've only played the ones where they did screw it up. I don't think I've played the ones where they managed to keep it all together.
Well, I wouldn't call them all together. Just less screwed up than the other ones, maybe.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, in general, some of their cash shops are okay, and then there's some that you just look at some of the items and you're like, I don't know. And Perfect World Entertainment, even though they have made changes to a lot of their cash shops, they still carry a pretty bad stigma when it comes to free-to-play, don't you think?
That is true. We've made some friends over there at Perfect World.
Yeah, yeah. And you look at any Perfect World video, and all the comments below are, oh, Perfect World, pay to win, pay to win, pay to win.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm concerned, but I love the way it's shaping up. I really want to get into the Foundry. The Foundry also, I think, has the potential to be the cash sink in the game, and I've said that before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you the ability to create X, Y, and Z, but for every letter of the alphabet, you're going to have to make a purchase. So you've got 10 quests, and the other 700 that we've designed that you could use in your world, we're going to need cash for those.
Yep, pay it forward.
Pay it forward, baby. So, Neverwinter, you excited overall? What are your thoughts on the game in general, just from the trailers, the lore trailers, the gameplay trailers? You're going to play it. What are your thoughts?
Just off the gameplay trailers that I've seen alone is enough to make me want to play this game.
I'm so pumped about this. I was a huge Neverwinter, Baldur's Gate. I mean, I just loved those PC games back when.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you ever into those, or were you too busy doing first-person shooters at that time?
No, actually, I can remember I was in 7th grade at the time, and I was living with my brother in Carolina, and we spent that entire summer just playing Baldur's Gate.
Nice. No outside for you.
Nope.
Screw you, sunshine. So I'm going to give this one a thumbs up for now. I want to see the cash shop. I definitely want to see the Foundry. To be honest, I don't think this game can succeed if the Foundry doesn't work or isn't as interesting as people are hoping that it will be. My concern, and talk me off the ledge here, Brim, if I'm nuts, But if the Foundry is just so-so, or let's say it's even broken, it doesn't work well, or it doesn't create well, I don't think the actual game itself can stand alone in the market that it's in.
That I am going to disagree with you on.
All right, why?
I mean, yeah, it's a cool feature, but I really don't see that many people. I mean, it'll definitely draw a bigger crowd, but I still think that this game by itself will be able to draw a halfway decent number of people.
Brim. All right, let me lay this on you then. You've got an MMORPG, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got it set in a high fantasy type world, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got action combat, which looks to be, we can't verify, but looks to be a little faster than some of the action combat that we're used to, but it's still action combat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got your trailers that are the typical bunch of people beating up on a dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taking the Foundry totally out of this, what aspect of what I've gone over now makes you think that this can stand alone by itself without some type of hook like the Foundry working?
Now, I didn't say that it would be a mind-blowing game, but I still think that this game, if with the right advertising, could draw a crowd.
I agree with you. Yeah, the IP itself is going to draw a crowd initially, but then
right.
How long does it last if that's all it is? I think the user-created content is what's going to drive this game. You could not disagree with me more, huh?
Well, no, I mean, it's like I said, it's a cool feature, but I don't think that's what is going to keep the players. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I just think that if the user-created content doesn't work as well as we all hope it does, and as any of us that have played the older Neverwinter games, we got in there with Neverwinter Nights 2 engines and made our own content and passed it around as well, and that was a huge aspect of the community. And I think that the MMO needs that aspect of the community to stay a viable MMO. Other than that, I just don't know. I don't see anything that makes you want to play this over what you're already playing without something, that unique aspect to it with the Foundry. So, okay, I'm going to say thumbs up. I want to see the cash shop. I want to see the Foundry. Hopefully we'll have a beta by the end of the year. So for now, thumbs up. What about you?
Thumbs up.
All right. Well, that wasn't too bad. We disagreed a little bit. I was a little worried coming into this show, just me and you.
Oh, you know how it is.
All right, so let's go to your best in show for Gamescom, and let's see if we agree on that one. What do you have? What did you like?
Oh, one of my personal favorites of PC games, Command & Conquer.
Oh, BioWare EA.
BioWare EA. We'll get into that a little bit later, but...
So what was the big news from Gamescom on that one?
Command & Conquer. It was set to release as Command & Conquer Generals 2, but they have dropped the Generals 2 altogether, and they are now working on a bigger project, just calling it Command & Conquer.
Okay. And what's this bigger project then? Because Generals 2 was just set to be a PC game, wasn't it?
Right. Command & Conquer has been announced as a AAA free-to-play experience.
Ah. Now, we also got a trailer, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
What'd you think?
Fantastic. They released a trailer that was 100% gameplay. None of that theatrical bullcrap. And if the gameplay is as real as this looks, it's going to be an amazing game.
Yeah, and they made like a big deal about that at the beginning of the trailer too, didn't they?
Yeah, big bold letters. This
Blackout.
is gameplay.
Blackout. Fade to text. The following is real gameplay footage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so you had mentioned that BioWare EA throws a little flag in your head. Now, this is it's said to be powered by Frostbite 2, and obviously that's a huge part of why it looks amazing. I agree with you. Command & Conquer nut. When Damien and I were dating, we used to play the original Command & Conquer and Command & Conquer Red Alert via a dial-up modem. Yeah, those were the days. Command & Conquer, Age of Empires, the original Warcraft RTS games. We played all of those over the dial-up internet. And so I'm a huge Command & Conquer nut. Not so impressed with the whole mobile thing they just recently launched. How do you feel about that one?
I actually never looked into it.
Yeah, we did a story on it a long time ago, and then when it finally launched, I mean, there were a ton of people in it, but I couldn't get into it. It wasn't Command & Conquer to me.
Right.
This looks like it's Command & Conquer on steroids.
Right.
Pretty badass visuals. If you're watching the trailer now over top of this, it looks great. Now you question BioWare EA. What's going on there?
You know how they do their free-to-play market. Well, what they call free-to-play. You can get to max level, but then not do anything till you give us some money.
Are you talking about Star Wars? What?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, we'll get into this next week.
That's right. If our special guest host is still good to go, we will be talking about Star Wars again to recap the last time our special guest was here and our conversation then, in which I'll tease it now. Sadly, Brim was right.
Brim gets to gloat.
Brim is going to get to gloat something fierce next week if everything works out. Ugh, that's going to be awful.
To all the viewers listening, whenever I am right, it is a huge deal.
So yeah, EA's got that track record with the free-to-play being really bizarre and very limiting. Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning has that whole you're done at tier 1 thing. Star Wars is going to do their whole thing where, hey, if you wanted Knights of the Old Republic 3, then great, free-to-play Star Wars The Old Republic couldn't be better for you. Because you could play every class through their entire storyline, and there you go. You had your KOTOR 3. If you're hoping to treat it like an MMO, then this free-to-play model sucks. Or has the potential to suck as more and more details come out, I should say. So, I'm with you. Command & Conquer, we're probably not going to see some details in the cash shop for a while, huh?
Right. Yeah.
Now, here's my thing, and let me ask you this before I give you my opinion. Would you have rather this, and this is an interesting question since we're doing a podcast for a free-to-play website, would you have rather that this stayed a purchased game? Would you rather pay $50, $60 for Command & Conquer Generals 2 and know that you're going to get X as the product and Y as the performance, and you paid it so you have full access, you don't have to worry about it, and then you can do whatever multiplayer functionality they have in there? Or are you super pumped that that project is gone and it's being rolled into Command & Conquer, this AAA free-to-play thing? I think it's a good question.
It is a great question. On the one hand, you've got, like you said, you buy the box, you know what you're getting. EA can't throw any crap at you that you're not expecting or don't want. But then on the other hand, you've got I believe, a much larger market for the free-to-play.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But does that translate to a better game?
Man, I don't know.
Ooh, I stumped the Brim. My only concern about this is, yes, it's really cool to see Command & Conquer as a free-to-play thing, especially with the trailer that they unveiled at Gamescom. It looks very cool. Love the franchise, love the series. I've got question marks all over the free-to-play model and what the hell they're going to do with that. But when I look back at any time I've played Command & Conquer, or even RTSs in general, I've never really gotten into the RTSs that were trying to market themselves as like an MMO-type community. And this isn't obviously Persistent World, or maybe it is. I mean, we don't know the details of the full project, the full scope. But, it's not World of Warcraft. You got your cities, Persistent Worlds, and all that stuff. this is an RTS game, and every time I've ever gotten really involved into an RTS, it was for 2 reasons. One, the single-player campaign just had a great story and kept me engaged. Right?
I'll give you that.
Okay? And then the second reason is obviously the multiplayer, which I always just played with people I knew most of the time anyway. I mean, can you count how many times you played the original Command & Conquers or Age of Empires or the original Warcrafts with total strangers? And I know a lot of people do that. I'm not saying that it's not out there, but for me, you know, a casual RTS or by no means competitive, it's always, I call Brim, what the hell you doing? Let's play Command & Conquer.
Right.
So does the whole AAA MMO type, here's everybody in one big lobby, does that really bring an extra element to the table, or does it bring something to the table you would rather not have and just buy Generals 2 and know what you're getting?
Let's see.
I have stumped the Brim. I'm gonna tell you something. I brought this up for a reason. I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
But for right now, I probably would have rather bought Generals 2. And just know what I'm getting into, know the content that I'll have, know the downloadable content that EA will be putting out in the future that I may have to pay for, and be able to play the game with other people that I know. And there's that certain aspect of, well, I spent $50 on the box, now I need to get Brim to spend $50 on the box so that we can play together, right. Whereas this whole free-to-play thing, we can both just jump in and play it, and if we want different things, we can use the cash shop. That's certainly a nice idea, but if the cash shop's too restrictive, then I would just rather have bought Generals 2 and tell you, Brim, suck it up and spend the $50, man.
Yeah.
Thumbs up or thumbs down from you?
Thumbs up all the way.
Really?
Yeah.
If it wasn't BioWare EA, well, if it wasn't EA, it wouldn't be Command & Conquer. But if it wasn't BioWare EA, I'd probably thumbs this up. Right now, I'm going to leave that thumb in the middle. Because until I see some more details on how the lobbies and things are going to work, and the matchmaking, and then particularly the cash shop, because it is a BioWare EA free-to-play experience, I'm going to leave my thumb right in the middle until I see more details on that. If you would ask me right now, gun to my head, do I want the free-to-play experience or do I want Generals 2 as a software box? I am still leaning towards I wanted Generals 2 as a software box.
You neutral bastard. That's what loses wars.
It's a good question, though, isn't it?
It is. It is. We're going to have to see. I mean, we don't have a choice now.
Yeah, you're right. See, it's not like we got an online petition or anything.
I don't know. Knowing EA, well, you know what? Generals 2 was a good idea. Let's go back to that.
Right. You know that whole thing we announced at Gamescom? Yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
No. You know what's going to happen? EA's going to come on. They're going to be like, you know what? Command & Conquer was such a flop. We're just going to pass it on. Somebody else.
We're going to sell it to somebody.
Yep. Be somebody else's problem.
I'm excited for a new Command & Conquer that isn't the mobile thing they put out. That's going to be cool. Finally. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah. Years.
Yeah, it's been a little while. So Command & Conquer, we're kind of split on. You know what else looked cool from Gamescom? Did you check out Project Theron?
I did.
That looked wild, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the trailers the trailer they showed us it looked pretty generic, you know, fantasy based and combat and whatnot, running through a city and things like that. This is by Infernum, and they're using CryEngine 3 for this project, and it's really early. Like, how long has this been in development, Brim?
Oh God, a couple months.
Yeah, it's only been like 2 months, so it's really early, but the trailer they showed, or the preview they showed, whatever you want to call it, it looked pretty wild, and they've got some concepts that they're thinking on it. It's like in a prototype stage, but they're thinking of adding things like city building, aerial combat, a whole system where your secondary character can come in and do things with you, which I think is really wild. Like, could you imagine some of the games you play right now being able to, well, nobody's on, let me just grab some of my alts and have them come with me? How cool would that be in some of these other games?
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, you've got the whole mercenary system in some games where you're hiring an AI to run with you anyway. How cool if it was your alts that you had spec'd out exactly the way you wanted with the gear you wanted and just brought them all with you.
That would be really cool, especially for some role-playing people.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The graphics I thought were okay. I mean, they made quite a big deal about the graphics. I didn't think they were anything stellar. It's using CryEngine 3, so you would expect decent graphics, you would expect decent terrain mapping and things like that. I mean, CryEngine 3 is obviously high-end as far as the graphics machines go. The one thing that really surprised me, and they held it back until like the end of the demo, was that the game is going to be able to run as a client download or a browser base. And we've seen some other games doing that where you can get into either. I mean, BrickForce does that, right?
Yeah.
You can download the client or access it through the browser. And so that's pretty cool too. What did you think overall though? Like, I wasn't terribly impressed with the trailer, but I was interested because I'm thinking what they're planning on doing with this and what they've been able to accomplish in only 2 months.
Yeah, I'll give them that. But like you said, don't see anything spectacular.
It will be cool to build cities, though.
Yeah.
And take your alts with you places.
Yeah.
I would, given the option, given the option, I'm downloading the client. I mean, are you really going to play it in the browser?
No, just because... Well, not now that I've got this new system.
Oh, that's right. You got a new PC. Tell us about it.
I did. Oh, man, I love this thing. No more smoke detectors going off. Oh, man, this... Every once in a while, like, especially when you get that first, like, lock-up crash to desktop, you're like, oh, no! But it's been a great PC for me. Hell, Molly plays it more than I do.
Molly, she's the one that broke your laptop, right?
Yeah. It's, those damn books, man.
You didn't put her textbooks above the new desktop, did you?
No. So I'm gonna have to come up with some creative next time something breaks.
Right.
Like, the shit is falling from the ceiling. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, Project Theralon, Infernum, definitely something to keep your eye on, I think, as more and more becomes available. Again, just like our other two stories, though, I'm concerned about Cash Shop. I think, in my opinion, that Infernum has totally screwed the Cash Shop in BrickForce. Not only with the weapons purchasing, but then the modding of the weapons and the slotting of things and the rate at which you actually accrue points through just gameplay. Again, I'm not going to call it pay to win because I can get all of those things through gameplay, but it is definitely, as one viewer says, pay for fun. Yeah. I think Infernum's kind of screwed up BrickForce with the Cash Shop, and obviously we don't have details on this project as a game, let alone speculation on a Cash Shop. We don't even know what type of damn game it is, besides it looks kind of fantasy-based.
Mm-hmm.
The website doesn't even have anything on it, does it?
No, I think just the trailer?
Yeah. The website was weird, too, wasn't it? That was like you moved your mouse and the background kept sliding around behind it to kind of give it this like 3D look.
Is that what was going on? My God.
Did you think your new computer was bugging out?
I thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I'm on it right now, and it's, the barbarian type character they have is stationary, and then all these flying things in the background and the mountains move anytime you move the mouse in any direction. It's really weird. Like, I couldn't decide if I liked it or if I hated it.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at it right now, but I mean, it kind of cool, but let's spend some more time on game creation.
Right, right. So if you head on over to the website, which we have on mmobomb.com, we have a link for you. They've got like 7 screenshots from the prototype. They've got 6 just general artwork, and then maybe 5 panels of concepts for characters and armor and weapons and things like that. So definitely worth taking a look at. I think it's, since they're billing it as like the true sandbox MMORPG, definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But I think we're really far away from seeing anything substantial on Project Theron. Before we slide over to the weekly bombs, guys, make sure you head on over to mmobomb.com. Check out all the Gamescom stuff we have there. I mean, there were just too many highlights for us to go through on the free-to-play cast. We've covered some of our favorites. Do you agree? Do you have other favorites? Let us know. Put it in the comments below. While you're there, make sure you rate, comment, subscribe, and check out all the other Gamescom content that we've got for you. Now, Brim, before we slide over to the weekly bombs, you've got your Derp of the week, don't you?
I do.
Well, welcome back, sir. For those of that don't know, what is the whole Derp of the week thing? Brim's Derp of the week.
The Derp of the week is supposed to be something that you've done in game that was just really foolish. Maybe you just haven't slept in 4 days. And you're just running into a tree or off of a cliff or something. Or you run straight into a mob and it wipes the entire raid. Something just you weren't thinking.
When I convinced Amina to jump off her mount in an attempt to land on mine.
Oh my god, I told Molly about that and she's like, that's so mean.
That's all right. She broke your laptop. I think that's mean.
It is mean.
So what's this week's? You got one. Who sent it to you?
Okay, I've got one from Mr. Gavin Freeman. Freeman, Freeman.
All right.
And he says, hey, Brim. Well, hey, Gavin. For my derp of the week, well, apparently it was a long time ago, he was doing some artwork for fun, and he took one of those, those old... well, not old, but those Pringle tubes that the chips come in. Oh yeah,
like the cardboard tubes with the like metal bottom and lid thing.
Yeah. So I guess he was working on some art project, and he was using a wallpaper knife to cut down the side of the tube. Okay. Which, if you know anything about those things are sharp as hell.
Yeah.
He was cutting along the side of it, and when it got to the end of the tube, the knife slipped out.
Oh.
And sliced off a chunk of his thumb.
Ouch.
And apparently he could see muscle.
Oh.
So that's a good derp. I guess that could...
Oh, how is that game related? Oh.
I guess it could hinder your joystick hand.
I get what you... Oh, no, you're just talking about playing games. Okay.
Yeah. Come on now. What are you thinking? Come on, man. Get your mind out of the gutter. We are a classy program here.
Right. Yes. Utter class. So where can viewers submit their Derp of the Weeks to you? And every time you're on, you go through them, right?
Yeah, I go through them. Check me out on the Twitter at BRIMTTIN, Brimton. Or, if you don't have a Twitter account, just put it on one of the YouTube site.
And you'll pull it from there.
Yeah, I'll pull it from there.
Cool. Let's slide over to the weekly bombs, guys. We'll go through ours first. Now, we've got a bunch of new listeners from a different site. Some other site. There may or may not be, a couple of weeks ago, some stuff that went down, and we've got a lot of people from another site that are just joining us. We welcome you guys as well. And some of those guys and girls have been asking, what is with the weekly bombs? What's it mean? What's da bomb? What's a bomb? So real quick, we'll go through this. Da bomb, American slang, something really cool, free-to-play related. So if there's a game that you love that's free-to-play, give it a da bomb. If there's a company that made a decision or a change or an update or is doing something that you like, give it a da bomb. That's the whole point of da bomb. A bomb, just like the destructive force that an atom bomb has, an A bomb sucks. If there's some game that's just awful and you want to talk about it, give it an A-bomb. A company makes a bad decision, a bad cash shop move, whatever, free-to-play related, give it an A-bomb. So that's the way it works. Da-bomb good, A-bomb bad. I'm going to give mine first. I've talked about this before, and somebody started to give me a little bit of flack about it on YouTube, but then turned out that I was still right. We've talked about 38 Studios and Kurt Schilling and their whole bankruptcy and Rhode Island now owning an MMO and all of that. And it's a very, I mean, we make light of it here, but it obviously is a very serious situation. People lost their jobs, and the state of Rhode Island is on the hook for millions of dollars right now. So it's a messy situation. I got to give an A-bomb for 38 Studios bankruptcy and the whole thing, though, because Kurt Schilling reported this week that Copernicus, which was the MMO, the MMORPG that they were working on, which was set in the same universe as their title, Kingdoms of Amalur. Did you ever play that?
No.
Good game. Yeah, it wasn't, earth-shattering or anything, and it didn't set sales records or anything like that, but it was a pretty solid game. I liked it. So Copernicus, Project Copernicus, was the MMO that was going to take place in that same universe. And they were, they had raised millions of dollars for this thing. It was supposed to be over 100 million as far as development went. There was a YouTube fly-through, world fly-through that you could see and looked nice. It was coming along, I guess. Well, Kurt Schilling this week announced that Project Copernicus was going to be free-to-play, and that they were going to drop that bomb very late in development. I mean, because they wanted to really make a splash and have Copernicus be like the first bajillion-dollar AAA MMO that was going to launch as free-to-play. And the reason I give this an A-bomb is twofold. I give an A-bomb to the actual bankruptcy itself because that kind of robbed us of what could have been a universe that a lot of us liked in a free-to-play, AAA, high-budget MMO. And that sucks that we missed out on that, right?
Right.
I give it an A-bomb from the other aspect, though. It's easy for Kurt Schilling to say that now that it's dead.
Right.
And in the articles, he's quoted as, saying that he was against free-to-play initially, and, he had to be swayed and convinced that free-to-play was going to be the way to go. It's just real easy to come out and say, hey, by the way, our game was going to be free-to-play. Look at what you guys missed out on, because, as Kurt Schilling's fond of pointing out, Rhode Island's governor screwed them rather than the company just making bad decisions or mistakes. So, to me, it's just, it's easy to say that now.
Yeah.
That it was going to be free-to-play. I don't know. It seems a little self-serving.
It's like, I did all my homework, but the dog ate it.
Right. I do want to give a da-bomb to Red 5, though, again. Man, they're scraping up bombs. We got to go back someday and do a count on which development company gets the most da-bombs. Because Red 5, team behind Firefall, picked up a bunch of developers that BioWare and 38 Studios had to lay off. So it's really cool seeing that those guys and girls that were just recently screwed out of jobs through no fault of their own in some cases, no fault of their own, have been picked up by other companies. And the gaming industry as a whole has been really cool about trying to find all these people, especially 38 Studios developers' jobs. So way to go, Red 5. Good job there. A-bomb to 38 Studios. Not being able to finish Copernicus because they're bankrupt, and announcing way after the fact a very convenient, oh yeah, by the way, it was going to be free to play. What do you got, Brim? A-bomb, dub-bomb? What's up?
I have a A-bomb.
Oh, wow, we're just a bunch of cheerful dudes today, huh?
It's because, where's our girls at? We need someone to cheer us up.
Right? So what's up? A-bomb to who?
Good old Tara.
Tara?
Tara, I know we're a free-to-play show.
Yeah, that's a subscrition thing. What are you bringing them in here for?
I think we're a free-to-play show. Are we? Yeah, we're a free-to-play show.
Yes.
All right. But every once in a while, we like to talk about good techniques and bad techniques for marketing.
Oh yeah, we've done that before.
Well, this is one of the not good ones.
Okay.
A-Bomb for Terra. It's a sub-based game, and for lack of a better word, they're trying a free-to-play trial.
Yeah, don't they have like a 7-day thing? Like kind of like WoW does free to 20 and Rift does Rift Lite, and it's like a 7-day trial thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what they're shooting for.
Okay, so what's wrong with that? A 7-day trial? Yeah, it's not free to play, but it's okay, fine.
Well, here's what they're doing. They are taking a section of the game and trying to make it browser-based.
Oh, you're talking about the demo that they have.
Right.
Not the actual free for 7 days thing. That they give you the ability to what? I think it's like play it right on their website. They kind of stream it almost.
Yeah. It's awful.
Well, you don't even do you get to create a character? It's been so long. I mean, I subbed to Terra for a few months, but so I never did the browser trial or whatever, browser demo. Do you even get to create a character on there?
There is no character creation whatsoever. You have 3 classes to choose from, and they're all pre-created characters. I think you get like a warrior and a sorcerer or something else. They're all at level 1, but they're pre-created. And there's so much lag. We're talking about like 2 to 3 second delay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a great way. Brim, come check out my game. It's broke. You should really, really play this. Here, click on a quick demo of
right.
Broken products.
Exactly. So that's what we're talking about here, people. A-Bomb for just bad marketing. If you want people to play your game and Mossy, get your crap together.
Like, I'm all for the 7-day trial, though. Okay, fine. Somebody wants to download it and check it out for 7 days to see if a sub is for them. Great, fine. They're not marketing it as free to play, so I don't have any real problems with them doing a trial or a buddy pass or things like that. I only get pissed off when it's like, oh, Rift is free to play until level 20. When they do that type of stuff. So let's go to the viewers. Crooked says, yeah, dub bomb for Magicman for being an Aeon player. Well, thank you, Crooked.
Hey, I've got it downloaded. I'd played it.
I know. You were like, hey, what server are we on now that I have a boss PC?
I know.
Crooked goes on to say, well, for at least saying that Aeon would be the last MMORPG that he would play if it came to it. I did say that if I could only play one more free-to-play MMORPG, it would be Aeon. For those of you that haven't played it yet, Crooked says Aeon's an incredible MMO, definitely worth experiencing. The best part, the game is not pay to win or even pay to have fun. Items in the cash shop have no effect on gameplay balancing. Blood for blood Asmodeans.
Yeah!
Yeah! Crooked, I love you, man. Guy or girl, don't care. Love you. Big Asmodean hug to your ass. It is. I love it, especially the North American version. You fellas and girls that are in Europe and are stuck with the GameForge version, play on North American servers. You'll like it more. GameForge just makes you buy things. Rule 907, A-bombed a global agenda for being dead because of no new content. Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
But then we got somebody that disagreed with Rule 907, didn't we? Elusive GC. What did Elusive have to say?
Elusive GC, dub bomb to global agenda for still having activity and good community for being pretty competitive between the remaining agencies. There's most likely an update for the game soon, and I hope that it gets more attention again, as it is the best MMO I have ever played. These guys are playing 2 different games.
Yeah, what's going on there, man? Different strokes for different folks. We all like different things and all that, but whew. Although they kind of work together, though, don't they? Because Rule 907 says A-bomb because of no new content, and then Elusive gives a dub bomb for liking the game, but then also says there's most likely an update coming soon, and I hope it gets more attention.
Yeah.
So they kind of work together, even though they're counter opinions there.
Right.
David Kavist sent me an email that had a lot of information in it. I want to give you his A-bombs and dub-bombs. He had a couple of them. Give an A-bomb to the new game called Bullet Run, because at some point you'll have to spend money to repair your gear or buy new items. I agree. Dub-bomb to 8-bit MMO.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yes, that's why I picked David's comments here.
No.
It's a unique free-to-play game with building compared to generic MMO games copying each other.
No,
now,
it is not.
Months ago, when 8-bit MMO had just come out, we actually featured it as a news story, and I made you play it.
Yes, you did, and I hated you for it.
I still have not heard the end of making you play that, but apparently David loves it.
Again, he's playing a completely different game.
David finishes up with an A-bomb to all developers basically making exactly the same game, and I rarely see any free-to-play game with anything unique. I don't think that's limited to just the free-to-play games, in my opinion.
That's true. That's worldwide.
I mean, David's got a good point there, and a lot of... But yeah, you see that in everything, in movies and books and music. Somebody does something that works, and somebody else tries to capitalize on it.
They just run it into the ground.
Right. Nix Knox says, I would like to give the bomb to Battleforge because it's the only RTS TCG MMO, and it's so awesome that I've even spent 20 hours online without sleep on weekends just to stay in-game and trade cards for cheaper than the auction house. Also, an A-bomb for the same, Battleforge, which was pay-to-play, then went free-to-play. But now even a game that has no other like still gets no community and respect it deserves. Also, it's sad that the only good project that EA Games had really published or created. It's not commercialized enough, and even the staff had been reduced from about 100 people that created new content and new card editions to about 10 or 12 people. It's really sad about Battleforge, and I'd hope that someone would buy it and revamp it to attract more and more people. I think that's the first time we ever had a viewer bomb where they gave a dub bomb and an A bomb to the same thing in the same comment.
Yeah.
I've never played Battleforge. I've watched videos on it, and I actually like trading card game, especially online type stuff. I'm not really a Magic the Gathering guy. I haven't been since high school. Are you into the trading card games?
Oh, I was. Every once in a while, I'll pull out, the World of Warcraft trading card game, or even the Magic. I've got a shoebox that's just full of decks.
Yeah, I mean, I still have all my Magic cards. I played back in when it was alpha, beta, and revised sets, so that gives you an idea of when I played Magic the Gathering.
Back when it was cool to play.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree there. I don't think it's ever really been cool to play, but I had fun. And I still have thousands of cards from those 3 sets with a little bit of shitty Fallen Empires cards. Nobody has any clue what we're talking about now unless they're a Magic the Gathering player.
Right.
You know what? have you ever played Concept or ever heard of it?
I think that was before my time, wasn't it?
No, this was PS2 and Xbox 360. There's also a Nintendo DS or 3DS or whichever one. There's also a version for that as well. If you've never played Concept, you really got to check it out. You can pick it up on the cheap right now for PlayStation 2 and things like that. It's like a trading card game mixed with... take Magic the Gathering and mix it with Monopoly. And where you have properties, you put monsters on them, you're trying to get more properties of the same colors, people land on and pay you rent or try to fight the monster. I love Concept. Why has nobody made that into like an online MMO type thing where it's a whole lobby and damn it, make Concept into... Okay, I gotta let that go. I'm sorry.
Moving on.
Questions from the viewers. 2 weeks ago, we asked you, knowing the trouble Star Wars The Old Republic has had and the fact that it's going free to play, and the fact that World of Warcraft also posted another 1.1 million loss in subscribers, is the subscription model dead? We went through some of your feedback last week. We're going to go through some more of your feedback this week. 69 Alpha 69 Wolf 69. I'm just going to call him or her, excuse me, Alpha Wolf. Says, yes, after the release of Guild Wars 2, I believe the subscription model will be officially dead. ArenaNet showed it could make a top production game and have no sub long ago with Guild Wars already. Couple that with the fact that people now know the original reasons for subs does not exist, but it's really just to make big money. I think company greed will kill any game that tries to do this again. Another example is Terra Online not getting the numbers they thought they would, and now the Secret World. A couple good points there.
Yeah.
I don't think Guild Wars 2... I think the subscription model, personally, is dying. I don't think it's dead yet. I don't think it's quite dead yet. But I do think it's dying. What do you think?
I think, I'm going to get creative with this. I think it'll be undead. It'll disappear for a little while, and then someone's going to try to bring it back.
You know what? That's not a bad point, and a viewer made that point last week, too. And I totally agreed with them, because it's kind of like we talked about gaming going in cycles. You know, of 10 years, this is the big thing, and then for the next 10 years, something else is big. And Mark Kern talked about it when we interviewed him on a previous show. You know, there was a time where if your publishing company didn't make a huge real-time strategy game, you just flat out didn't succeed.
Right.
As a publishing company. So, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think the subscription model will disappear, but then will come back as technology keeps, you know, production and costs and things going up. Then you'll have another jump where the free-to-play market will have to catch up with the quality that you're getting from a sub-based game. Because for the longest time, free-to-play wasn't even an option because the quality just was not there compared to sub-based games, right?
Right, and I think that's what a lot of people still... I think that's why you still see a lot of people playing sub-based games, because they have that mindset that a free-to-play game is just not up to par.
Yeah, which I think is total bullshit.
Right.
Right now, I mean, there's so many free-to-play games out there that are on par with a lot of these other sub-based games as far as quality graphics or gameplay or whatever your favorite aspect is. But there's going to come a time when the production values will change again, and you'll see a sub. I agree with that. That's not a bad thing. Speaking of, Alpha Wolf brought up the Secret World. They had a really bad week. Did you hear about all this stuff there?
No.
I kind of like the Secret World. I have it. I still sub to it, but I haven't played it in a week or two now. Very niche game, but Funcom just announced that they've got some concerns. They had like 2 scenarios in their head for the launch of the Secret World. They had like an Age of Conan type launch where we're going to sell this number of boxes and retain this many people. And our ideal scenario where we sell this many boxes and retain this many people. They missed both. And they're now reevaluating and looking at the game to try to see. They're blaming Metacritic for it, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't, hey, our combat is just kind of so-so, which I think it is. That's why I'm saying that. Our combat is so-so, or whatever other people have problems with the game, too. It had nothing. They were blaming Metacritic and the fact that players were giving it decent reviews, but the actual reviewers gave it a bad score, and so it had pretty, average aggregate scores, and that was the big factor in... Developers put way too much stock in Metacritic.
I was going to say, don't tell me that. We're going to get a phone call from EA blaming us for the fall of Command and Conquer.
Right. Ryo, XX Ryo X, we'll just call him Rio or Ryo, says it's all about free-to-play now. All those games that are currently pay-to-play will eventually become free-to-play, including WoW. It's just all about time. I think that we all kind of understand that that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
That they, as AKA Mike B said when he was on our show, they do a double dip. Pump it out as a box with a sub, make as much money as you can, make it free to play, and get that influx of new money.
Mm-hmm.
Han Jamis says, I was turned off by the sub fees. I do not even get to endgame. I don't have time to play enough to get the $15 worth of gameplay. So free-to-play is great for me. If I get to endgame, I might stick around. And if I could buy guest passes for raids, I'll probably do them. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's who the free-to-play market was for, I believe.
Yeah. See, I think the problem that I have is I really... You always see that when somebody says something about sub fee, somebody invariably replies, not all of us can afford sub fees. And then somebody else always replies back, get a better job, or something like that. You always see, you always see that discussion on forums and things like that. And, you know, if it was just 1 or 2 sub-based games like it was, you know, years and years ago, I would say, okay, fine, get a better job. I think the problem now is that there's so many damn things with subs. I don't have a ton of disposable income, but I have a little bit.
Right.
I don't have enough dispensable income to subscribe to 7 things at once.
Yeah,
you know?
There's no way I could subscribe
and
to
I could tell you that
before.
right now, if I went through the list, I would... If I didn't have to pay, I would keep WoW updated, I would keep Star Wars updated, I would keep the Secret World updated, Terra updated, Rift updated. That's 5 right off the bat. Okay? That's 5 right off the bat. That's 75 bones a month.
That's true.
You know? Those are just the games that I would consider playing and hopping into every now and then, and that's why I love free-to-play. I don't feel like I have to play the game to justify the money I'm spending. And WoW gets like that for me at times, where I feel like I'm on a WoW break right now, have been for a month or 2, but I get like that with WoW or other sub-based games where it's like, I love playing it, and then I get to a point where I feel like, God, the only reason I'm playing this is because I'm paying for it. What's Nick426 have to say?
Nick426, pay-to-play is towards its end. It's like the MC Hammer baggy pants phase. It was great when it was around, but it's a dead trend and not coming back. I disagree. Pay-to-play will be back, and so will the MC Hammer pants.
Oh, I thought you said you disagree because you thought MC Hammer baggy pants weren't dead.
They'll be back.
I thought you were implying that you may have a pair of MC Hammer baggy pants on right now.
Not on. They are somewhere in this house.
Jonathan Sty says, I don't think subscription models are dead, although I don't play any games that use them. But a lot of my friends are still playing World of Warcraft. But for Star Wars The Old Republic, I never played it, but the game is even more expensive than WoW. WoW is 20 euros for 2 months. Star Wars would be 30 then. It's 10 euros more expensive. Yeah, that's another thing that we really don't think about all that often, and Secret World is guilty of that too, that they have a different price point in Europe. And in fact, it was like right before launch where a bunch of people were just complaining about how high the sub-base cost for the game was, and so they lowered it before launch to a price that's still more expensive than most MMOs. So, poor Europe. Ugh.
Was that wasn't true here, was it? Star Wars was the same as WoW, I think.
Yeah, 15 a month.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Yep.
Sorry, Europe.
15 USD a month. Question of the week. Now, we gave this question last week, but due to last week's show posting a little bit late, we wanted to give people the opportunity to reply to the question. So we're going to give you the same question of the week that we did on last week's show, and we'll go over everybody's, well, not everybody's, that'd be a long-ass show. We'll go over some of the answers from both weeks on next week's show. What is the best free indie game? Now, it doesn't have to be an MMO, but it does have to be free, that you think all MMO bombers need to check out. Leave your comments below the video. Make sure you rate, comment, subscribe while you're there. Come on over to mmobomb.com. Check out all the great content we have there. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please take a minute, give us a review. We love the feedback, good or bad. It helps make the show better each and every week, and honestly, that's why we're here. We appreciate you guys and want to make the show what you guys and girls want to listen to. Let's throw it around for the final word there, Brim. Where can everybody get a hold of you?
Check me out on Twitter at BRIMTTIN. Thanks for a great show, guys. This week as well, last week, I was checking out, Ghost Recon, Raiders, Aeon, Firefall. Those were all games that I played last week. I had a couple of viewers come join me. Wasn't too bad.
You're like all about, I've gotten Facebook message after Facebook message from you this week that's just like, oh man, I love having hard drive space.
I know, right? So yeah, just keep an eye on my Twitter, guys, and it'll let you know what games I'm playing and where you can find me.
Perfect. Well, for Brim, I'm Magic Man. You can hit me up on Twitter at MagicMan1. That's MAGICKMANN1. You can email me at magicman@mmobomb.com. Give me your thoughts. Don't forget your weekly bombs. We'll see you next week, guys. And as always, stay safe. And we'll see you out on the servers.